just got to know the right people.
Thanks, Jim.
Call to order the City Council meeting for the City of East Grand Forks for Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022 is now 5 o'clock. Would the City Clerk please call roll?
Mayor Steve Gander.
Here.
Council President Mark Olsted.
Here.
Council Vice President Tim Riepel.
Here.
Council Members Clarence Vetter.
Here.
Dale Helms.
Here.
Tim Johnson.
Here.
Mark Demers. Brian Larson.
Does turn quorum please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Open forum and opportunity for members of the public to address the City Council on items that are not on the current agenda. Items requiring council action may be heard to staff, boards, and commissions for research and future council agendas if appropriate. Is anybody here to address the council at this time? I see none. Move on to the approval. Oh, sorry. If you want to come up, you can state your name and your address, please. No, that's fine.
Welcome.
Hello, my name is Morgan, last name Compagnon, don't try to spell it. I'm here to, I'm not sure if this is something for you guys to talk about or not, but I recently had to go down to the water and light department. Great people, very helpful. But I know currently you have to bring in like a bank account number to the people at the desk, and there's nothing online for that. And I'm not sure if that's something that you guys would discuss about, like possibly creating something like that to make it easier for people to either input information, or people who might not be able-bodied enough to come down by themselves if they live by themselves. I know we're not as big as Grand Forks in North Dakota, but I figured might as well bring it to someone's attention.
So you're saying that to originally set it up, the information, the account numbers, I know Keith, if you want to come up or if you want to address it. So you're just talking initially setting up without having to come down here to verify everything?
Yes. So normally you're supposed to bring in a voided check, if that's still that's what I had to do when I first moved here. And since I'm not changing, I didn't have to change banks when I got a new account. They just let me change the account number, but I still had to come down to do that. And I'm not sure. Is there like a phone service for it, or is it you have to come down to?
You have to come down, but why don't we get your number and your name?
Okay.
Anytime.
Cool. Oh yeah. I live at 1128 3rd Avenue Northwest, apartment 21.
Yep.
Sorry for forgetting that.
Appreciate it.
That.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come anytime.
All right, we'll move on to approval of minutes for the July 11th joint session, July 19th council meeting, and July 26th closed meeting summary, and July 26th special meeting, and July 26th work session. Moved by Helms, second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Scheduled bed lightings, there is none. Scheduled public hearings, there is none. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda will be adopted with one motion. However, council members may request individual items to be pulled from the consent agenda if they choose. Anyone want 6 through 7 pulled at all? Entertain a motion of 6 through 7, please.
Move.
Moved by Johnson.
Second.
Second by Helms. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Move on to acknowledge of receipts of reports of officers, boards, and commissions. In your packet, you got the city financial statements as of June 30th, 2022. If you do have any questions, please do reach out to Carla. Regular meeting minutes of Water, Light, Power, and Building Commission for July 6, 2022. Communication, there is none. Old business, there is none. We'll move on to new business. Consider approving the Safe Streets, Roads for All Programs project funding request for action plan grant as joint application, and approve the memorandum of understanding between the City of East Grand Forks, City of Grand Forks, and the Metropolitan Planning Organization, contingent upon review from the City Attorney. Motion. Moved by Riepel.
Second.
Second by Demers. Questions? Demers, excuse me. Better. Didn't mean to hurt you. Sorry. There's a slight. Anybody have any questions for Nancy?
I have two things.
Sure.
We did visit with Grand Forks staff, and they visited with some council members. Currently, the bylaws for the MPO is that it's a 50-50 split. We have 50-50 representation on the board, and they felt that we would just follow current MPO standards for a joint application or a joint study similar to this, as they recently put their 50% into the bridge study, which East Grand Forks has started. They did state that if Mr. Vetter, or if there was discussion at the MPO exec meeting and you guys could come to some sort of a different split, that Grand Forks City Council would bring it back for that review if it was discussed and we came up with a different option at the MPO exec board. Otherwise, they approved it with a 50-50 split. And therefore, I'm asking you to approve it with a 50-50 split here. Based on if we were not to join in with Grand Forks on this study, right now the current grant requires a $200,000 minimum request. So that would be a $40,000 match just for the city of East Grand Forks alone to qualify for any type of those safety funds. So I feel that if we can get it and it's run through the MPO, I think we'll get a very good study out of this, and it will qualify us for other sorts of funding that we do not qualify for right now. So then the second item that I had was Ron did review the MOU, and he had a couple of changes to that. I could go over those, but what will happen with the MOU is we'll present it as a draft if we do move forward on applying for this grant, and then if we do receive funds, then the MOU will come back with the amount that we've received and anything that needs to be in it in regards to what their policies and procedures are for that MOU, and then that'll come back for you for review.
Anybody have anything for Nancy? Thank you, ma'am. Roll call, please.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 11, consider accepting the quote from Carview Concrete Construction for the installation of the 40 by 46 basketball court, along with the access sidewalk, the ADA ramp, for a total of $19,012.50, and the purchase of the basketball hoop from BSN Sports for a total of $3,630.95 to be installed at the Option B location in Danmore Park, with funding coming from the All True Partnership Fund. Moved by Helms. Second by Riepel. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Vetter?
No.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 12, consider adopting Resolution 22-08-56, approving the proposed increase to the 2022-2023 winter activity fees. Moved by Riepel.
Second.
Second by Helms. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 13, consider authorizing the submission of a letter to the Metropolitan Planning Organization requesting to amend the Metropolitan Transportation Plan. Moved by Helms.
Second.
Second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Vetter?
No.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 14, consider authorizing a request for proposals for auditing services for the years 2022 through 2024. Moved by Johnson.
Second.
Second by Vetter. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 15, consider approving an off-sale intoxicating liquor license application allowing a combination license for Bernie's Restaurant LLC located at 121 Demers Avenue, East Grand Forks, Minnesota. Moved by Helms. Second by Riepel. Questions or discussion? Roll call.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Move on to claims. Consider authorizing the city administrative clerk treasurer to issue payment and reckon bills and payroll. Moved by Helms.
Second.
Second by Vetter. Mr. Johnson, you have a question?
Yes, I wanted to have the city finance director here, Carla Anderson, explain what that $700,000 payment that we go through these, we don't just flash through them and sign it and we're done with the I'm curious if I've been asleep at the last years or two, or when they say that we pay it every year. I've never seen a $750,000 payment, and maybe the people need to know too. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Council President and Council. Yes, it's to the Minnesota Public Facilities Authority, and it's probably a little larger this year than other years because we did our financing for the interconnect through this. We did a sewage project in 2008 that we did in this, and we also had 23rd Street. And I have more details. So, for example, the interconnect, the loan was 6.7. The whole project was about $12 million, but we did get a grant from the state of Minnesota for 5.3. The rate on that loan is at 1.039. The Transportation Planning Loan Fund, which is 23rd Street, we did borrow $3,467,000. The project cost $4 million, and the interest rate on that is 3.645. And then we have the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, and most of the public facilities authorities have been using this for clean water. You'll notice other cities are also using this fund, and that was in 2008. So that was a project we worked with our city ponds before we did the interconnect, and the loan is for over $4 million. The rate on that is 2.68. So as you can tell, the rate is much better if we can finance with Minnesota Public Facilities Authority. And the other thing I was just going to state was the interconnect will be paid off in 2036. The transportation revolving loan will be 2038, and the clean water 2008 will be done in 2028. Any other questions?
I hope I'm still around then.
Which one? Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? If not, roll call, please.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Mayor Gander.
First thing, I have a challenge for all of us, and it would be for city department heads and council members and community members. As you're traveling about the community, look for areas where you really wish there was a sidewalk, but there's not a sidewalk. We could take some community input on that, because I'm sure there are going to be some areas that we've missed and haven't identified. So for sure, bring those to us. You can send them in to Megan in the administrative office, and she'll compile those, and we can talk about them at an upcoming maybe work session on sidewalks that we should fill in. You know, we have sidewalks that run all over the place, and then you might have just a little stretch of a commonly used area that just doesn't have one. Or maybe we have one where the traffic gets pinched a little close to where pedestrians walk, and we'd want to see about creating a sidewalk in there. So let's all rack our brains and try to figure out those areas, and then we'll prioritize them and look for funding sources to how we might get some sidewalks put in. Then just a few things quickly. Number one, congratulations to Catfish Days and Cat's Incredible. Sounds like it was a great event. I had to be out of town, so I wasn't able to participate, but congratulations on a great event there. Someone else will have something to say about August 12, 13, 14. We'll have Heritage Days coming up. Everybody come on out and take part in that. Get reconnected to our roots of back to our founding in 1887 and before, and see what people lived, how they lived, and the technology back then. It's kind of cool to just go back and imagine what it's like to live in a time like that, and then fast forward to today and just appreciate all that we have. And finally, August 1920, of course, we have Rockin' Up North coming into our downtown on August 1920. So a lot of really great events in our community in the next several weekends coming up. Thanks.
Mr. Vetter.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Mr. Helms.
Thank you. Yeah, Mayor, Heritage Weekend is coming up. It's 13th and 14th, Saturday, Sunday. Tractor pull will be on Sunday, and we finally found our niche to get our mayor out there every year now, so we got him got him signed up on the hot dish contest for tasting again. So we got him coming back every year now. He loves it. So it'll be a good time again. Hopefully the weather will be nice. It's been pretty good, so hopefully it'll hang on, and yeah, and it should be fine. So thank you.
Nothing. Mr. Johnson.
Just something for the mayor. Do you remember that lady that had the, she walking the dog and she was over by the library, I think, or she wanted a sidewalk on, I was confused on that, but do you remember that? Did we take notes on that? We had to have. She needed a sidewalk on the other side.
Reed can answer that.
Oh, here we go.
We did take notes on that. You're right. It was in the Sherlock Park area across the street from the library connecting to the Greenway Trail. We had Mr. Emery put a drawing together, and we have a price estimate to be included in future ADA plans to try to connect some of those gaps in our system.
We're ahead of the mayor.
We're
way ahead
on that one project.
in all ways.
That's not unusual.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Yeah.
August 2nd, 2020. Only thing I have is the story I called you, Mr. Demers. That's all I got to say. Mr. Murphy.
Just two things real quick. First one is not next week, but I believe the week after it's possible. I'm going to try to put a little vacation together before the end of the school break.
All of us?
Oh, no, just for me.
That's nice of you.
So it's still up in the air yet. I will keep you informed if those plans do firm up. And the other item is we have our meeting to go through the RFPs and see if we want to interview all of them or some of them for the consultant, and that will be Thursday night. So I'm looking forward to that, and I think we'll have something for you very soon. That's all I have.
Mr. Gulstead.
I just wanted to apologize for being a little bit late. I was in Zoom court right until I walked in here. So, and other than that, I have nothing to report unless there's any questions for me.
Mr. Emery.
I have nothing.
Anything from the department heads?
I would just like to say or give a reminder, next week on Tuesday is the primary election. All polling places will be open. Ward 1 is the senior center. Ward 2 is here at City Hall. Wards 3, 4, and 5 are at the senior high. Please use door 2. And if anyone has any questions about where they vote or getting registered, anything like that, they can call the administration office, and I will gladly help you. Thank you.
We have to be done by 6, right?
Yep, next week the meeting has to be done by 6 p.m. because of the general election, and the meeting will be held up here.
Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do have one more thing as long as we're talking about sidewalks. We have the new crosswalk lights up on 17th and 220 are absolutely excellent. They're nice and bright. People are using them, but cars aren't stopping. Cars are flying through those yellow lights just like they're not even there. So we might want to start, maybe have somebody set up there or something, and maybe, because it's we sit there and see it all the time, and I don't know if
they've stopped several. They've stopped several already.
Yeah. So it's people just got to get used to that being there. So
yeah, that system that MnDOT put up there, it's not intended necessarily to stop the traffic. Like the system we're looking at for Bigland and 13th, that Hawk system, that one will actually stop the traffic. This system is really just to make the drivers aware that there are potential pedestrians in the crosswalk, but again, it's not a system that's set up to stop the traffic. So,
Johnson.
I've used that on 14th, riding a bike to Hugo's, and you push that walk, and it's excellent. I mean, no hardly any wait time. It's great. That's all I have.
I might get out of my car and push that sometime.
Be faster.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved by Johnson. Second.
Second by Vetter. Any questions or discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Means adjourned.
If someone's in the crosswalk, they will stop people. But if they're already passed and through and they're still blinking, they can.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that. But I mean, I'm talking.
I checked the stop two of them the other day.
like that, huh?
Yeah, we just sit there and watch them.
You didn't like that, huh?
Like what?
They fly.
Give us all a vacation.
Yeah, they don't pay attention.
You certainly can take one.
Taking care of that for me.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for doing it.
Saved me a lot of running around.
That's awesome.
Thanks for all that you donate out there for your time and talents and everything.
We got that. Roger out there. We got that.
Black and white photo don't help either.
We do have the ADA transition plan. Then we also are, the bike ped plan is just kind of moving in areas